Hello, you wonderful people. Just making this video because I'm, it's my 5th year anniversary, or at least YourNerdGasm's 5th year anniversary. I mean, technically we're past the anniversary because it was actually last Tuesday on the 22nd, because that's when I originally created the channel. But still, I felt like I might as well make a video kind of celebrating it a little bit. I mean, technically, if you want to talk about like it really officially launching, it didn't officially launch until I think September 1st, which this is going up Friday, because that's when technically the first video I ever put up is up there. And I say technically because the original video, which I think I put it up the day I created the channel, I'm pretty sure, but it no longer exists because I ended up deleting it for stupid reasons. So technically September 1st is like the first, is the anniversary of the first video. Like, so it's been 5 years, but nevertheless, YourNerdGasm is 5 years old. And it is very different from what it was originally. The channel has changed drastically over the years, but even more so, like, obviously the biggest change was this year because I started focusing mainly on nerdy stuff. If you just coming across this, originally I talked a little bit more about myself, telling just my weird thoughts about stuff like that, as well as just sharing a little bit about my personal life, which I guess to a certain degree I still kind of do, but like everything's more nerd centric now. It was already like that before, but I feel like it made up at least like a third of what went on this channel, because like 2/3 of it was just like all random thoughts and just stuff about me. It's ironic because there are so many videos up here on this channel of me talking about myself, even though I don't like talking about myself. I guess because for me, I have my whole little weird thing where I talk to myself anyway, so that's why this whole situation always works for me, because it's like, oh yeah, it's no different from me on a daily basis, except it's being recorded. It's always been kind of my thought process about the whole thing. So I mean, YourNerdGasm hasn't grown a tremendous leaps and bounds, but even a little bit it's grown. Like, I feel like I can never say thank you enough to anyone that watches anything. Even if you just watch one video, you subscribe, whether you didn't, like, I appreciate it because I legitimately love making videos on this channel. I know that's the cliche, everyone says it, but it is very true. I legitimately wouldn't be doing this if I didn't like doing it, because I like nerding out about stuff, because for me, I never really had a place to really like nerd out about things, even amongst friends. At any point in my life, whether it's elementary school, middle school, even high school, I only had very few people I could hang around and like nerd out about stuff with. And even then, like, because who I was in high school and stuff, I tried so hard to like, you know, be a little different than who I am, not really being myself. So I feel like I got nerdier the older I got, because I was like, who cares? I'm like, I love all this nerdy stuff, and just kind of embraced it a lot more. I feel like, especially once again over this past year, so far this year, I've kind of felt like 2017 is the year I've embraced it even more. But yeah, I do legitimately love, because I love talking about all these things, and just because I never really have any outlets to really talk about TV shows, so that's why I love doing the podcast, why I love just doing videos talking about, like, you know, animes and movies and TV shows and stuff like that, just because it's cool to me. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Hopefully I can continue doing this for as long as possible. Obviously, I'm fortunate enough to be in a position where I can do this like without really interfering with life. But eventually life is going to catch up to me, because it's just it's already happening, where life is like, yeah, it's going to get to that point where you're not going to have the opportunities to do this as much as I want to, and I kind of hate that, because I really love doing this, and I like have dreams and aspirations about taking it even further than what it is. You can laugh and scoff. Oh, you'll never be a hit. You'll never do anything. Blah 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 blah. I just want, I don't know. I just want to like nerd out about shit with people. That's all. Like, that's the whole purpose of the channel. Wasn't originally. It was a place for me just to be me. But even then, it's just like, it's also, I want it to become like a home for people to be like, dude, let's come here to YourNerdGasm and lose our shit about like all this nerdy stuff. That it's like, did you see that latest episode of insert TV show? It was like, that was fucking sick, you know, something like that. I want that feeling, because like, that's to me like the coolest feeling about being into half the stuff I'm into, is when you get those moments and you're just like, that was like the coolest thing ever. Was that not the coolest thing ever? Everyone else talk about how cool that was, you know? So like I said, I hope that I'm able to continue doing this for as long as possible. I once again thank you to anyone that, you know, whether you subscribe or not, even if you just watch one thing, you comment, whatever the case may be, I feel like I don't thank you enough. I don't take the time out to thank you enough for doing that. Like I said, it's kind of late, but you know, I did tweet it out like the day later, but because I always tend to forget about like celebrating any anniversaries, because usually it's not till like I'll remember maybe a couple days before, but then like I'll miss it by like a couple days as well, because I'm like, crap, I totally remembered before and then totally forgot to remember. Maybe I'll get better at that from now on celebrating anniversaries. Hopefully I'll remember. It's kind of interesting because I'm kind of terrible when it comes to dates and stuff like that, or just I guess it's just because in my head I'm like, I don't know, it's just like my little pet project, and I feel like it's not really worth noting, I guess, sometimes, which I feel like it's underselling it a little bit, doing that. That's kind of shitty of me to kind of undersell it, like, oh, it's not worth remembering. So, but you know, this is something I've taken time, care with. I've recently, well, not recently, but fairly recently, I crossed over into the 1,000 video mark, and that's kind of mind-blowing because to me, I've never put this much effort into, again, arguably anything in my life. So it's just kind of interesting that this project is going on as long as it has, and that I've continued to put as much effort into it. Once again, I'm impressed with how much I've grown. Not only am I better at being in front of the camera, I've gotten slightly better at editing. I'm like 2% better than I was in 2012. But hey, any improvements, still improvement. And just overall, I just feel like it's even more fun. Like, I don't think I could have ever imagined being where I am right now with YourNerdGasm, like even back then. So here's to hopefully another 5 years, maybe, you know. Anyway, that's enough about all that. That's really all I want to talk about in this video. So to the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.